are also creative, but nobody taught you how to be creative. Okay, let me tell you more after this. In order to know how you can be more creative, you need to know how the brain works. Your brain has two modes, which is the focus mode and the diffuse mode. Now, have you heard of a term called diffuse lighting? Meaning, in a photography room, a photography studio, there is the bright light that is very focused, but there's also a light, another kind of light, which is the diffuse light, which goes very wide and is not so harsh. The same thing applies to the concept of diffuse mode, where your brain is in a diffuse mode, scanning wide. And I give you a better analogy of it. You know when you are in a submarine, right? In a submarine, there is a radar. Teet, 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 and it scans the whole sea. Okay? So that is something like the diffuse mode, where your brain is to try to scan all the information and the knowledge in your brain, in your memory, and somehow try to find something that is valuable and try to connect all this information together to somehow come up with a new and novel idea. Whereas when your brain is in the focus mode, it's like the submarine using the stethoscope, and then you see above the sea and other ships, and then you just focus on only that one ship only. So that is like you call it the stethoscope, right? So the stethoscope equivalent is the focus mode in your brain. So you are in a focus mode where you already know the problem, you already know how to solve the problem, you really want to focus, or you really want to filter, you have so many ideas, you want to compare, you want to focus, you want to find out what is the best one solution. So those are the difference between focus mode and diffuse mode. So diffuse mode is very good for divergent thinking. Okay, what does divergent thinking mean? It means to think of new ideas, to diverge ideas. One idea become maybe idea A, idea B, idea A become idea A1, A2, idea B become B1, B2. So you want to come up with a lot of potential solutions. So that is divergent thinking. But convergent thinking is very good when you want to make a decision. Okay, for example, you already done the divergent thinking, you want to pick only one solution to propose to the boss. So this is where a lot of analytical thinking, analysis, numbers, you calculate, you compare, logical thinking. Then you compare the best one, that is what you propose. That is the convergent thinking. So your brain diffuse mode is very good for divergent thinking. Your brain in focus mode is very good for convergent thinking. Okay, so the question is, how do you be in focus mode? How do you be in diffuse mode? Most of the time when you work, you are in focus mode. You know all that. Your boss give you a job, then you focus. Okay, but how to be in diffuse mode so you can be more creative? The answer is to do the opposite of that. Okay, meaning you have to forget the short-term focus mode. You have to take a rest, take a break, do something that is not related to the job, and just relax. Okay, like for me, when I have a problem trying to think of solution, like writing a proposal, I don't know how to think of an idea, how to convince to make the proposal looks better. What do? I have a coffee, I have tea. Sometimes what I would do, I would change the whole environment. I go out of the office, go to the nearby mamak, order one teh tarik, and just relax, observe my surrounding, and somehow by the time I go back into the office, the idea will come up. And surprisingly, I'm not the only one who does something similar. Thomas Edison, the famous inventor, when he has a big problem, what would he do? He would take a nap, but not just any kind of nap. Before he goes to sleep, he would have two metallic balls in his hand, and he would play with it while he was like drowsing and about to get to sleep. And by the time when he sleep and the ball falls to the floor, he would suddenly wake up, wow, and he suddenly had an idea, and then he would continue working on that idea. Because why? When you are at the relaxing mode, resting, you're about to sleep, that is where your brain is already going wide in the diffuse mode. Okay, so that is not something that I personally do or I personally found out. In fact, you can read a book titled A Mind for Numbers by Dr. Barbara Oakley, and then it will tell you even more tips. Thank you very much. I hope that is beneficial for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.